Gosh, Lae'zel's corpse just keeps getting moved. It's so weird. Let's see, we should probably talk. Okay, we're like massively encumbered. Oh, she's just sitting here in halfling form still.
Well, my day just improved. Did you want something?
Let's talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
Nothing really changed. Ah, the painting's still there. Okay. So we'll go through, use the food first. It's weird that Lae'zel's body keeps getting moved to a different place. This is close to where she actually died, though. Yes. Okay, no weird, like, events. She's back to half-elf form.
So, that's what people mean when they talk about butterflies in their stomach. Did you want something?
Yeah, same options. Said, talk to Karlak, talk to Weil.
Copper for your thoughts.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that Halsin just sits here.
You wish to speak?
Well met.
He's just here, looking pretty bad shape.
What's on your mind? Apart from finding me an artifact to consume, which I assume you're pursuing with the appropriate urgency.
I think I have a magical artifact you'll be interested in.
That is most gratifying to hear. May I?
Here, we'll see what we got here. It's that barred clothes thing, huh? Not using it, we've had it for a long time, so.
Thank you.
Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mystra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Go on, you're among friends.
I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. And from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time she became my muse. And later even my lover.
Are you telling me you made love to a goddess?
Oh yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
How exactly did you try to cross these boundaries?
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. Swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. we come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
I'm intrigued. Tell me all.
Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. And he almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms, until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
I guess you ruled off flowers and chocolates altogether then?
You know me. My gestures can never be grand enough. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in, into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
How are you still alive?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however.
Go on.
I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Unbelievable. Did you ever think what would happen if the tadpole got the better of you?
Every waking moment. Every dreaming moment, too. But there was no way out. All of this. It must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways.
If we were to part ways, where would you go?
Once I'd step out of the protective aura of the artifact, it wouldn't be long before the Absolute overtakes me. I'd never let that happen, so I'd aim for a swift end. I would consume some midnight tears and Venture as deep into the Underdark as I possibly could. Till they cloud my eyes forever. With a bit of luck, I'd manage to make it to a mind flare colony so that when the orb erupts, one loud, last song of vengeance would reverberate through the dark. Wouldn't be a heroic end, but coarsely poetic enough in its justice.
We've come too far together and we'll continue on together. This is how it will be.
That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
All right.
How can I help?
If you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking, what will you do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
I was wondering about the mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mystra, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mystra sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mystra, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
So at that moment in time, all magic was gone?
For a spell, Mistral was reborn as Mystra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mystra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
All right.
What's on your mind?
All right, so I guess he's done telling his stories. But that was a lot of story. Like, wow. Like, that was a lot of story. All right, so we can end the day now. Okay, what do we got that's, like, heavy? These things are heavier. Anything that's a 1? There we go. Full rest. Okay, we're still encumbered, but we got rid of a lot of the food here. We're like so overweight. It's just mostly food. That's what's funny. So we need to deposit some of those books and stuff too. Because we have a lot of books. Might still have to start depositing the letters too. Because we just have a lot of letters. So the letters don't really add weight, so kind of been holding on to those. Just all the food. Casual sandals. Like, it's just so much of this stuff is just camp supplies. Ocean of invisibility. Rotten carrots. Well, these are like stuff we can sell though, the rotten foods. But it's like, there's just a lot of stuff we gotta sell. A lot of this stuff doesn't weigh a lot, just because accumulation of just the accumulation of stuff. Just like all those like 0.1 add up. Keep the extra clothes, just kind of difference. Outfits. I had to start putting them in a box. It's a pound of food.
Wits and blades always sharp.
What to do?
Encumbered too. Gold doesn't really have enough weight to worry about. Let's see, start putting some of the rotten fish, maybe. Doesn't even weigh a lot. Okay, finally not encumbered. So now I'll go to the bookshelf and put all my books. Because the books are a lot heavier. Where's the bookshelf? It's right here. Or the book table. Can't ask with all the books. Shoot. The heck? Oops. Letters. Boom. Alright. Dropped a bunch of weight there. Yeah, see, a lot of these letters weigh almost nothing. The owlbear egg. Other chisels, that's probably vendor trash. Stuffed bear. Alright. Alright, I think we're... Well, maybe they'll have reaction to Gale.
What's on your mind?
Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, let's go.